Hi guys, it's Shemi. So I have a very exciting video for you today. Today I am going to give you the basic art supplies to get started in mixed media art. Now I'm talking mostly about altering things. So like this is a box that I altered in a mixed media class. This is a book that I altered too. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. But you could also, with a few adjustments, you could make this kind of a basic list for art journaling too. But I'm mainly talking about mixed media. Okay, so I'm teaching a class at Colorado Free University in my hometown, and we are doing Trash to Treasure mixed media altering. So basically our students bring in something maybe from their house. Like we had one lady bring in a paint palette that she transformed into something beautiful, a vase, that kind of things. Just stuff that you have kind of hanging around that you want to alter and transform them into a piece of art for your house or for your art studio. So that's kind of what the class is about. And during the course of that class, a lot of students asked me for a basic list of art supplies. So I came up with it, and I want to kind of go through some of the products with you, maybe give you some budget-friendly things that you can do, and explain a little bit about the mediums and how you seal your work, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing on the list is gesso. Okay, gesso is very, very important. Now here I have Deco Arts Media gesso, and then this is a brand that Artist Loft that I got from Michaels. But my favorite gesso that I've tried that I love to use so far is the Liquitex Basic. You can get a small bottle for like $7 at Michaels, and then you can use a coupon. But that's a really good one. I also do like the Deco Arts one too. It's really good and nice and thick, and you can do lots of wonderful things with it. And this one is kind of just my basic one that I use kind of for all sorts of projects. I think it's like $6.99. Then you use a 40% off coupon. You just have to make sure that you seal it really, really well, because it does thicken up a lot. So that's kind of, and it doesn't have as thick of a coverage as this one or the Liquitex one. Okay, but gessos are used to prime your surface. So let's say you were altering a book or a bottle. That's the first step that you always take, is to prime your surface. Okay, so that's gesso. So you definitely need that. Okay, and I will have links in the description box of this video to all the products that I'm talking about, even if you don't see them pictured. Okay, so the next thing is that you need paints, right? So these are some paints that I have. I recommend that if you're just starting out, you can go to Office Depot or even to Walmart. They have really cheap paints. They're always 50 cents, and that you purchase basic colors. So, you know, just your basic run-of-the-line colors. I really love the kit that you can get at Home Depot, because it has a bunch of Americana paints, and they're these size, and they come with, I think there's like 20 of them. There might be less, maybe 12 or something, but it comes with all the basic colors that you would need kind of for projects. And then I recommend that you buy a bottle, even though black and white come with them, that you buy an additional bottle of black and white. You're going to use that a lot. That balances your work a lot. And then also metallic gold. Okay, so remember, this is you just kind of starting out. I'd say if you just wanted to buy a couple bottles of paint, I would do black and white, and then pick your 3 favorite colors that you know that you're going to make a lot of projects with. Or you could pick basic colors like blues and greens, kind of think of color families. That would be the best way to work. And then you could do maybe another color kind of scheme of maybe pink, orange, and yellow. Okay, so have kind of your warm colors and your other colors too. Okay, alrighty. Okay, So the next thing that we're going to talk about after that, and I love gold, it just adds a whole different texture. It's definitely something that after I put down my colors and my gesso, I definitely use gold paint a lot. It just adds a different dimension to your work, so that's pretty important. The next thing is your mediums. Now you can use like matte medium. You can use gel mediums. Those are a little too expensive for me unless I'm doing a piece that I'm going to sell or I'm doing a canvas. Then I will actually use, matte medium or gel medium. But for kind of my everyday kind of art or art that I'm giving away or something like that, or even on canvases that I sell, I do use my Deco Page and Mod Podge, and they're fine. It's a medium too. And basically it's used to glue, seal, and to finish. So what I recommend is that you get two different kinds. So you get the matte to put the things down. Okay, so those are the things that when you collage something, you apply it to your surface, and then you apply the piece of paper, and then you seal it with that glue. So that's what I would use the matte for. Now, once you have everything all finished, you've added all your stenciling, stamping, that kind of thing onto your project, then I recommend that you do get some glossy Deco Page or Mod Podge, and that will be what you seal your projects with. Like this one is sealed with a glossy Deco Page glue. So it has a shine, and I love the gloss. If you didn't like gloss, then you could seal it with the matte too. But I just find that the gloss really makes your paints and everything come alive. Like this. This was sealed with the gloss. And as you can see, you can really see those purples and the blues. And if I hadn't sealed this, it would have been really matte, which is fine if you like that look. But I really love things that are shiny and sealed and really pretty. So that's why I recommend that you get those two. Again, you can use a 50% off coupon. Try and see which ones you like the best. I do like both of these brands actually, the Americana and the Plaid. I probably use the Americana more just because I find that it's not as sticky as the Mod Podge. Mod Podge can be really sticky, but I've been using Mod Podge forever, so it's a good product too. Okay, so the next thing is going to be what you're going to glue your embellishments on with. Okay, so like these are my embellishments. Okay, so it could be ribbon, it could be lace, it could be metal pieces, it could be all sorts of things that are actually your embellishments. So you need to attach those to your surface somehow, and you want them to stick very, very well. So what I recommend is Eileen's Tacky Glue. I really love this bottle. It's the Always Ready bottle. It's their new one. I got this at Walmart. It was like $1.27, and it's 4 ounces. It's the same as the other bottle that you get, but it works a lot easier. It's not as much of a pain to turn it upside down or anything like that. So this is what I recommend. You can glue metal, you can glue fabric, you can glue a lot of things with this glue. And if you're starting out, you can get this glue and you'll be okay. As you get more money, you get more experience, you can buy, specialty glues like fabric glue, that kind of thing. Okay, and same things with all these products. This is just the bare minimum and kind of basic things that you need, but you'll slowly start to build up your stash of stuff that you can use in projects, and that's just natural, and that's kind of what happens as we see deals and you kind of know what's on sale and what to buy and that kind of thing, and you add more and more to your stash. But I'm just showing you the basic things that I think that you need. So Eileen's Tacky Glue for gluing on embellishments. Very important. Okay? All right. The next thing is archival ink. Okay? Now there is Stampin' Up. Rangers has an archival ink. The one that I use is just a brand that I never really heard of, but it's this one. palette. And it's a hybrid ink pad. It's acid free and it's in black. It's waterproof and it's archival too. So those are the things that you want to look for. You want to make sure that it's waterproof and that it's archival. Okay, so that means that when you're brushing mediums on top of your surface, you do not want your ink to move. And you can get these in a bunch of different colors. I would just do the black because you can use the black in so many ways. It's really fun and super simple to use. So that's what I would use. Okay, and I mean, the stamping never goes out. Like this is stamped with black. And it's great. It works great. It's always a good balance. Okay. So get some black archival ink. Use your 50% off coupon. You can do the stays on. You can do all sorts of different brands. Just make sure that it's archival and that it's waterproof. Okay. That it's not going to move. Okay. So the next thing we are going to talk about is stencils. Okay. Now for stencils, there's a tons of different stencils, and when you go to the store, you might be totally overwhelmed. Well, I recommend that you stick with background stencils. So I'm going to be showing you those, which I have somewhere. What did I do with the stencils? Oh, here they are. They're in my pile of junk here. So Deco Arts makes these really cool stencils. They come in a pack, and you also get a big pack of letters. I will put the link below. But they come with a bunch of different shapes. There's actually 6 of them, 6 different kinds. But the other one I don't have. I was doing an art class with that, so I don't have that shape. But it's just really good patterns. I love the patterns that they have. This one's lines. This one's triangles. They're circles. So they're really fun all over kind of stencils that you can use. You get 6 of them, and it comes with a big pack, so it's a really good value. And I think that that's important when you're buying stencils and stamps and just all your products. You want to make sure that it's a good value, that you can get lots of different uses out of the products that you purchase, because they are expensive. And it just makes it more interesting if you can get lots of different purchases, lots of different uses out of things by buying them once, but where they're varied and you can use them in a lot of different ways. The other stencils, this is the first set of stencils that I ever bought. They're by Plaid, and they're really great. They have all of these wonderful shapes. Look at those. And they're like $4 at Michael's. And they come like this. Just like that. They're really good plastic. They're made by Plaid, and they're really wonderful. And this was my first set of stencils, and I love them, and I still use them. So it's really fun. You could even cut them apart. I tend to use them like this though, but really fun, really easy. I recommend that you buy these if you're starting out, because it has a bunch of different shapes. You can use them in a bunch of different projects. Particularly, I use the circles, this one, and this one. I have used the flowers and the hearts. I haven't used the hearts actually. The stars and that kind of things for different projects, but those are kind of the 3 that I always use. Okay, and Plaid came out with another set of these kinds of stencils too. This time you get 3 sheets, and you get 6 different designs. Okay, so there's this one. There's this one with the triangles. There's this one with kind of the arrows, and that one. There's lots of circles, and then there's this really interesting pattern here too. So again, I'm paying, $4 for these, but I am getting so much uses than if I went to Michael's and just got one stencil, that I'll use for one project, and that's it. So this is a really good value, and I will link that below too, so you can kind of see if you can get those stencils. But they're by Plaid. They're really wonderful. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is you want to do, and I call those particular stencils background stencils. A lot of different companies make them. I think Crafters Workshop has a really cool one that has a bunch of different kind of designs on one sheet that you can use. Companies are starting to make a lot more of them, so definitely go with it. The Deco Arts one I love that one because it does come with all those different kinds that you can use. Another thing that you want to think about is your background stamps, okay? So I'm going to show you. This is particularly where I keep all my background stamps, with the exception of this one, which is new. I just bought that one. But these are all kind of background stamps that I use to add texture to my page. So this one I got at the dollar store. It is a silicone pot holder, but it makes a really cool pattern when you stamp it. And then this one is Heidi Swap. This is the first background stamp that I bought that has text on it. It was on clearance for a couple of dollars. And that's it too. Like, don't think that you have to spend a ton of money. Wait for clearances and sales. Go to the back of Hobby Lobby or Michael's and just look really closely. And sometimes you luck out and you find lots of cool stuff. This one too was from Hobby Lobby, and it was on sale for $2. And it has a really cool bold kind of text that I love, and has different languages. And you probably want one of these acrylic blocks. I really don't use them that often though in my mixed media projects, mostly for cards and that kind of thing, or art journaling. Yeah, but you can get these for $1 at Michael's. Okay. So here's some more. This is script. Script is my favorite kind of stamp, background stamp. I use that probably more than any of the other ones. So that was cool. This is by Bo Bunny, and I think it's called Written Text or something, or Written something. Sorry, I don't remember it. But this one was $2.50 at my local scrapbooking store. And then this one someone sent me in Happy Mail. It's really good. It has a lot of pattern, and you can use it in a lot of products. This is another clearance one. Literally, it was $2.37. Can you see that tag? That's how much it was. It was on sale. This one I found at the thrift store. So it came in a whole pack of stamps, and I think it was like $1. And then this one was on sale for $2.15. And this was another one that was in the thrift store bag with this one. Okay. So just lots of fun background stamps. This one someone sent me in Happy Mail, which a stamp is always a wonderful thing to give in Happy Mail. And I even have some foam stamps that people had sent me that I love to use. This one was another thrift store thing. And I keep all of these in here because I know that they're particularly from my backgrounds. So that was a Michael's one. I haven't used that one yet. And then this one is really cool. This one was 75 cents at my local scrapbooking store. So really fun. Just keep your eye out for really fun stamps that you can use in backgrounds. Things that have dots or words or whatever. Numbers are really good background stamps, that kind of thing. So you want things like that. And as I said, and as you do more art, you're going to kind of see what kind of stamps you like, what kind of stencils you buy, how you can get a lot of use out of them. So that's the main thing, is you just want to kind of buy the basics. And I would start out just with a script stamp. For years, this is all I had, was that. I just had this, and then slowly as I saw things were on sale and I saved up a little bit of money and people sent me stuff, I started to build up my background stamps. But just start out with one, and start out with one set of stencils that I told you, with all the different kinds, and you'll be surprised at the beautiful things that you can create with limited supplies. And it forces you to be more creative. It forces you to look at things in a different way. It's a really good skill to develop. Okay, next bit of art material that you need is baby wipes. Now I get mine normally at Walmart. I think this is $1.17, and I like them because they have this flip top on, because I always forget, you can get them at the dollar store too, but I forget to seal them really well, and this way I remember. So I get them there. You get 40 of them, you know, for $1.25, which isn't bad, and that's what I use. And baby wipes you can use in so many different ways. You can wipe paint away. You can use them a lot to wipe your hands if you have a problem with stuff being on your hands, which is a part of the fun of mixed media, but I understand. Some things are really gooey and you need to get them off your hands. And also to wipe your stencils too, like when you use gesso or any of the mediums, it's really important that you wipe off your stencils right away. So baby wipes are great for that. So these are definitely an essential, okay? The next thing is makeup sponges. And these are great to use with your stencils. I get mine at the dollar stores, but Walmart and Walgreens sell them. You can get a pack for like $1 something there, but I get mine at the dollar store. And you get 28 of them. They're really great when they get bad on the back. This is my used one, so I use these first. Then you just cut them off and you create a fresh edge that you can stencil with. So those are essential for stenciling. And I find that stencil brushes are wonderful, but if I'm using multiple colors to stencil a background, it's just easier to use a makeup sponge. So that's why I use them. And it's cheap too. They're $1 and you get a ton of them. Now let's talk about thin papers, okay? So you can use scrapbooking paper too. We could add that to the list. The thing is that you want to use very thin scrapbooking paper. So you can go into Michael's and Hobby Lobby, get the thin stuff. Don't get the thick stuff because it's hard to adhere to whatever you're working on. So I primarily work with thin papers, such as napkins and that kind of thing, things that will go down fairly smooth. So that's kind of my thing, okay? So next we can get into tissue paper. So this is a piece of tissue paper that I got. This is my last little piece of it. I love the pattern from, I think, Hobby Lobby. They have tons of different tissue papers. You can go back to the back of the dollar store where the gifts are, and they have a bunch of fun, beautiful patterns that you can use. You can order them off of eBay. And I want to say that too, eBay is selling lots of stencils for $1, lots of different kinds of patterns. So that's a good place to go, a good resource. And they're really good background stencils. So just to throw that out there. But there's a lot of places you can go to get wonderful tissue paper. And tissue paper is wonderful because you can even just get white tissue paper and use your stamps and make your own kind of decorative tissue paper too. Save it from packages. I mean, there's a ton of tissue paper out there and thin papers that you can use. This is from a sewing pattern. I love to go into thrift stores and I buy sewing pattern paper, and this works really well for a vintage project. So, you know, a cigar box or something that I want to alter. So that's really great. Another thing is napkins. Tuesday mornings and the dollar store are my favorite places to get napkins. They have a bunch of beautiful ones. So here's just a couple that I have kind of in my scrap bag that you can use. And the thing about napkins is you want to make sure that you separate them before you use them because they come in different layers. So you can just wet your fingers and tear them apart and just use the top layer where the design is. But they come in so many patterns. You can tear them up. You can take images from them. There's a lot that you can do with them. So they are an essential for mixed media, I think. And they're super fun to use, okay? And you're going to totally have a napkin stash. But as I said, you can share with your friends. That's always a great swap, is to swap napkins with your friends, or find a swap group on Facebook and scrap napkins. So that's always fun because you get so many of them in a pack. So that's really cool. Another thing that I love to use is book page paper. So I purchase old books from the thrift store and take out the pages and I use them in my art. And primarily I love using text. That's my favorite to use as a background. All my projects probably have text in them, from art journal pages to altar objects. I just love them. And like this is old leisure paper that I found at a thrift store. And like this is from an old songbook. And yeah, And I got this at the thrift store too. It's a nice big book. It was $1, and I have over 400 pages that I can use in my art, and I do use them, so it's great. So that's kind of the low down on paper. Just make sure that it's really thin. You could even use like handmade papers, just make sure they're thin. Origami paper is really good, make sure it's thin. Any kind of beautiful pattern paper that you can incorporate in your project is always fun. So I love papers. I have way too many of them. Tissue paper, napkins, all that kind of stuff, but it's really fun to use. Okay, another thing that you want is a hot glue gun. I got mine from the dollar store. I thought maybe I had it up here, but I always get my glue sticks from the dollar store. It's just a mini one. You can get them at Michael's too, or from Hobby Lobby. Super cheap, a couple bucks, and some glue sticks, and you're ready to go, and you can glue on really big embellishments. You want to do embellishments, so what I suggest you start out with is get some ribbon, get rhinestones. Like these were on clearance from Michael's, and they were super cheap. Get that kind of things. Use broken jewelry, use stickers. Like this is from a sticker. And then the metal pieces you see that look really pretty, they're actually from eBay, and I paid $1 for them. And I got, I think, 6 of these really pretty ones. And then the corner pieces, I got 12 of them. So look around, see the fun stuff that you can find. Embellishments is kind of the fun part for me. I love embellishments and lace and ribbons and metal charms and broken jewelry and stickers. So there's a bunch of different things that you can use in that department. The next thing is paintbrushes. Now what I recommend that you do is that you get a value pack from Hobby Lobby or from Michael's, and they come with a bunch of different brushes. So like, I know that like all the ones that kind of have the blue barrel were all from the same value pack. So it comes with kind of these kind of brushes, and then it comes with just all sorts of brushes for us to use. So that's a good thing. They're $4.99. They come, they're where the canvases are mostly, or where the paintbrushes are. They come, they're $5, and they work great. So I recommend you get a pack of those. You do get some fine brushes too, so if you want to line things or to do writing or something on your project, that's a great use for it. And they're $4.99, so it's a wonderful value. Okay guys, so I know I talked a mile a minute. Hopefully you learned something, but I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of the basics. I'm going to read them out so you can hear them in a cohesive way that you can understand. So the first thing you need is gesso. Okay, the second thing is acrylic paints. Walmart does have the small bottles for 50 cents always, so that's a good place to start. If you want the bigger bottles like this, they're $3 or $2.50 I think for some brands. I think for Apple Barrel, and they have a bunch of pretty colors. So Walmart or Home Depot, where you can get the whole set of paints, are a good place to start. Yeah, so that's fun. And then you want your mediums, so Mod Podge or Decoupage, and you want it in matte and in gloss. Okay, they even have Collage Podge. You could use that too. My personal favorite though is the American Decoupage. That's what I use the most, but get it in matte and in glossy. Okay, and then you want Eileen's Tacky Glue is number 4, and that's to glue down your embellishments. Archival ink, StazOn's really good. I would get it in black and make sure that it's archival and that it's waterproof and that it's permanent ink. Okay, Stencils, I would buy mostly background stencils. I would get the ones from Plaid and they're called stencil backgrounds is what they're called. You can get them at Walmart for a couple of dollars. That's what I would start out with, or the Deco Arts ones where you get 6 different stencils actually you get 7 with the words for a really good price. And background stamps, get a couple of them. Get a script and maybe something else. And Hobby Lobby has great sales on their stamps. They usually do the 40% off promotion every couple weeks. So you can definitely get some, and always check your clearance section too, and get background ones, and then you can get into your more specialized stamps that you know that you're going to use for certain projects. Thin paper, so tissue paper, thin scrapbooking paper, book page paper, hymn book, and napkins are the best thing. For those, I go to the dollar store Tuesday mornings. Old books and songbooks can be found in thrift stores. Okay. The next thing is number 9 is hot glue gun. Number 10 is embellishments, lace, ribbons, rhinestones. Look in your own stash. You probably have a ton of that stuff already. Baby wipes and paintbrushes in the value pack. And that's it. I just do want to say a word about paintbrushes. I don't tend to use foam brushes. I have a ton of them, but I never use them just because I kind of think that they're a waste. I did find these little brushes, and I saw them at Michael's too, but they're really great. They're metal on the barrel, and I actually got these from Harbor Freight. You get a whole pack of them. I think there was like 20 or 30 of them. Probably like 20, and you can use them for so much. I do rinse mine out to get a couple uses, but eventually it does fall apart. The barrel does, and they start to come out, which is fine. And they're super cheap, and they're great to use. So I would get those, but I would also get a pack of the value brushes just for your all over kind of detail work that you want to do. Okay guys, so I will put a link to all the products that I talked about below with some suggestions on my favorite stencils and stamps. If you happen to be one of my patrons that pledges $2 and up, I will give you this list of everything just as a whole little reward just for supporting my channel, and you will get this printable free on my Patreon. Okay, but if not, you will get links to all the products, and you can watch this video and kind of see where things are going. Okay, and also too, a great place to get lots of supplies using coupons is Joanna's. You can use a Michael's coupon, a Hobby Lobby coupon, and a Joanna's coupon all in one transaction. So you could get, you know, your paints, I don't know, whatever kind of paint you want. You could get Gesso, you could get a couple other things, and use your coupons all in one transaction. And Joanna's does have really good sales, so definitely do not forget about Joanna's. I think lots of people do. And Tuesday mornings, they have a bunch of cool embellishments and that kind of things that are really, really affordable. You can pay a couple dollars for a lot of their embellishments, and they're really fun and simple to use. And do not forget about the dollar store. They have a bunch of wonderful embellishments and supplies that you can use too. Okay. I'm sick of listening to myself talk. But I hope that you got something from this video and that it was very useful to you. And please check out the description box for links to all the products and that I talked about. And I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.